Hey guys, what's going on? This is Jeff Arun King here, and as a lot of you might know, as a lot of you who are subscribed to me are also subscribed to Brobson, he recently made a video asking people to make a testimony video, just to give their thoughts on the Max Escape from Scratch challenge as a whole. Now I will kind of say disclaimer right now. When I talk about serious stuff like this, I like to write down what I like to think, but Brobson wanted me to keep this kind of short and concise, and when I write, I tend to write novels for days, so if my thoughts seem somewhat disorganized, that is why. I just like to keep my thoughts organized on paper, but again, if I did that, my thoughts would be very long, and to respect Brobson's time for having to edit a compilation video, if he uses my stuff, I'm going to keep it short. So there's a disclaimer. Now, I want to get into talking about the Max Escape from Scratch, just by saying, I think this is similar to a lot of people where I found the Max Escape from Scratch when I was watching one of RuneShark's videos, and Brobson's Max Escape from Scratch came up in a suggested video on the side. And I had been watching the God Sword Set from Scratch videos, and I really liked the idea. I had even tried like a from scratch style gameplay on my own account, but there was like no goal or anything. I just kind of liked the idea of it, and I had just recently gotten the quest cape on my main. And I was kind of bored with the game. I mean, I only had 2,000 total, no skill capes, but still, I was getting bored with the game. Found myself bank standing all the time. I kept trying to counteract my boredom with getting into clans, but all the clans just kind of seem the same. They seem kind of, I guess, selfish. They wanted to accomplish their own goals. They didn't really care about the well-being of the clan as much, as long as they had members to show that they were like, oh, we have a big clan. That's all that mattered to them. So I didn't get a sense of welcome in many of the other clans. But when I joined, when I found Brobson's Max Escape from Scratch challenge, by the way, Sneaker Peep is adorable. Yeah. Uh, when I joined Brobson's Max Escape from Scratch channel or challenge, I really got a sense of welcome. Even though I started right around episode 3, so it was like during week 1 of the challenge, there weren't many people doing it, but there's still a good amount of people, and then everyone was just starting out, and everyone was really congratulatory of each other, and it really was just a start of a good community. And as being the oldest member of the Max Escape from Scratch, besides Brobson, and seeing the hundreds of people, when he says like he's had 500, I think it's 500 people join overall, like, he's not kidding. There have been that many people joining the challenge, and people either quit due to school, due to not being able to pay the account, or just not, or wanting to play their main more because they've invested so much time in it, and that's understandable. But one thing that is true is I haven't met a single person who's regretted joining the Max Escape from Scratch challenge. They said the community is great. We congratulate someone. If someone is level 1 and they're starting out, and they get level 2 rune crafting at RuneSpan, we'll congratulate them. Like, not because it's like a sense of duty or whatever. We'll congratulate them. It's kind of just who we are. Like, we want people to be recognized for their accomplishments, just because it might not be as quote unquote good as yours, or yeah, as big of an accomplishment as yours. Like, to them, it could be the biggest thing in the world, and we want to make sure that everyone feels welcome. And that's what I really like about the community is, yeah, everyone's just really nice to each other, really helpful, and we're starting to get recognized around the world. Like, sometimes I'll go be at Solo Bandos, and then there'll be people who are going to crash me just because that's the community. People don't want to pay the 250k an hour. I get it, but then they'll see that I'm Max Escape from Scratch, and they'll be like, "Oh, we won't crash you. We'll hop." And then like we'll even get like I'll even leave the room, and I'll talk to them for like 30 minutes, and they'll just be interested in the series, and interested in my account, interested how Brobson's doing, interested how everyone else is doing, and that's just really cool to see how we're making an impact, that people are willing to stop what they're doing just to chat about how the challenge is going and everything. And it's really cool just seeing the impact that we're making. I didn't mention this yet, but another reason I was getting kind of sick of the game before I found Max Escape from Scratch was just because the community was kind of, I felt like it was in shambles, just because I had seen videos. All the video makers were like, "Oh, the game's going to crap. All the people are jerks in the game. There's no nice people," and that kind of just started to eat away at me. I was starting to believe it, and it was getting really depressing, and I didn't want to be a part of it. But again, after joining the Max Escape from Scratch, like I have been saying, it's just the opposite. Like, the community couldn't be better. Yeah, we do have a couple rough spots. With a few hundred people in the clan, you're gonna have people that don't get along, but um, it's usually resolved. People are reasonable in here, and they end up getting along in the end. Um, one example that comes to mind about just really neat how the clan comes together is this past week. Our Citadel resets on Monday, and Divination had just come out, and we had no one who had capped for the week, so we were going to downgrade on our Citadel and probably lose a couple skilling plots people wanted. And I was really depressed. I was like, guys, we're not going to get it. And I forget who I think it might have been Zerk or MCFS. He's like, guys, let's do this. Let's go cap. And then literally the whole clan chat went to the Citadel, and we knocked it out in about 30 minutes. So all 18 of us that were online at the time, we went and we capped at the same time. And it was just really neat seeing the community come together like that, just to accomplish a common bond. Like, everyone wanted to train their divination, but ultimately max cape from scratch is more than getting max cape. Yeah, that would be nice to get it, but it's about the community. It's about doing stuff together. And honestly, I had a heck of a fun time capping, which doesn't happen too often. But when all 18 of us were there, and we were organizing the whole event and telling people to go places, I don't know. It was just a lot of fun, enjoyable. Yeah, just about my thoughts on this account as a whole. Like I said earlier, I'm the oldest max cape from scratch member, besides Brobson, obviously. And because of that, I've got a higher level, and just because of the way I interact with people, I've been elevated to, I guess, a higher stature in the clan. I'm deputy owner of the clan right now, but I really do my best to try not to let that get into my head. I still do my best to interact with all the lower levels when I can. Sometimes it's really hard because I can't always be like hunting or fishing shrimp with them when they first start or something, but I do my best to welcome everyone, to play with everyone, even though it's hard. But it's been really, really cool seeing myself get stuff that I never thought I could get on my main that I played for 7 years. Yeah, I should say that I played on my main for 7 years, and I was only 2004 total, and I've had this account for just over a year, and I'm 2279 total, which is ridiculous. And if you see my inventory, I kind of pulled out some benchmark accomplishments for me, and you can see my armor right now, the Tetsu, and the Killing Cape, the Rage Fires, the Static Gloves. Like, everything here represents a different part of the challenge that's just a huge accomplishment, and everything in my inventory, and just another huge accomplishment for me. And then there's just one accomplishment after another. Like, it started getting my first leaf-bladed sword, or getting my first black mask, and now it's snowballed into getting Tetsu armor, which is the best melee armor in the game. So it's been really, really satisfying looking back on my account and seeing all the stuff that I've accomplished completely from scratch, not used the GE once, not traded once. It's just been really cool. And I know Brobson's a really humble guy. I don't know if he'd want to take the credit, but thank you so much for starting this series. I know you say it's the community that makes it what it is, but without you, there wouldn't be a community. Without your passion, without your drive to make the community a better place, this wouldn't exist. And it's really been great getting to meet some people on a really personal level over the past year, yourself included. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Sorry again if this was really disorganized or whatever, but those are my thoughts. If I had to give Max K from scratch rating, it would be a 99 out of 99. I really enjoy it. I what's the word? I discontinued the membership on my main 8 or 9 months ago. I honestly don't even play on it anymore. I gave all the money away on it just so there wouldn't be any disputes of oh, you traded your stuff over from your main. No, I had 10 mil on there most at one time anyway. But yeah, next goal on here is to get Drygores. So hopefully Brobson will be streaming more of that if we keep going, and hopefully we'll get us a couple Drygores. That would be so cool to get Drygores from scratch, and then from there we'll see. Hopefully within the next year or two you'll see me with the Max Cape. So again, thanks for listening. Hope you can find useful stuff in this Brobson to use for your compilation video. Yeah, have a good one.